The biggest sign if your friend is a really true friend or not is how they react when something good happens to you. If they're silent or don't ask about it, that's how you know they're not a real one.
We need to be very careful of friends that make hatred comments and make it seem like a joke. Stay very far from those people.
And yes, it's true that some people can have more than you and still envy you and still want, for some reason, have this burning desire to humble you. You have a light that they want to dim, you have a flame that they want to put out, and you have a confidence about you that they feel like is superior. You think you're better than us, so I'm going to take you off that high horse. But it's like, no, I know who I am. I know whose I am. And you don't like that I'm confident, so you want to humble me. Let's just call a spade a spade. When you know you have a light and you walk, talk, and act like you have a light, that's the problem. When you know what your purpose is and you're walking in that purpose or you're walking towards that purpose, that's the problem. They got the cars, the clothes, the family, the marriage, all of the materialistic things, and still they haven't quite yet put their finger on the thing that you got your finger on. That's the problem. You have a light and you know you have a light. You have a purpose and you know what that purpose is. That is the problem.
Here are the 3 types of friends that you need to avoid. Number 1 is the friend of all. The reason I call them a friend of all is because we all know the quote, a friend of all is a friend of none. If your friend is going out of their way to be friends with someone that has caused you discomfort, has caused you pain, has hurt you, they are fake as hell. Friendships are a form of relationship, which means that you guys come together in partnership and you guys are a team. If someone attacks one of you, they attack both of you. In case you guys are worried about the shade match, my face is a lot darker than my chest in the summertime. The second type of friend that you need to cut off is a friend that cannot utter the words congratulations to you. This friend may also never compliment you and tries to humble you when someone else tries to compliment you. This friend feels threatened by you because of their own insecurities and their own jealousy. It strikes their ego when they feel as though you have something or you've achieved something that they themselves cannot. So they feel as though they need to bring you down in order to be at the same level. Number 3 are the friends that don't invite you. And their go-to excuse is, well, we didn't think that you'd want to come. They never saw you as part of the plan. And don't shoot the messenger, but these reasons tend to be very vain. And obviously everyone has different friends for different things, but I'm speaking in the realm of a friendship group. A true friend wants to include their friends in their plans because they want to experience life and life experiences together. As a friend, if you hear that there's an exciting event going on, one of your first thoughts should be, oh my gosh, so-and-so is gonna love this, we should go together. Let me know if you guys have experienced these types of people as well.
The friend you need to cut off is the friend that always has time for everybody else to do fun things, hang out, talk, whatever, but only has time for you when they have, when they have some problems with their boyfriend or something. That's when they think, oh, let me call Daph, whatever. Cut them.
I think it's time that we talk about girls that pretend to be your friend or pretend to like you just to say they're around you because they're really secretly jealous of you, but don't want to show you that they're jealous of you, but in ways they want to be just like you. This is so important because girls can be so sneaky and so manipulative to think that she's really your friend. In reality, she wants to be just like you. And then she's supposed to be your friend. And you don't realize she's jealous of you until y'all stop being friends or some situation happens in your life. And you're like, oh, you was always jealous of me from day one. I don't know. I think it's important. I think it's really important how scary girls can be just to be around you. They have this secret animosity towards you. And you're not thinking that because that's your friend. So you're not thinking she sees you in that type of way. But in reality, you ever tell a person good news and you just look over at your friend when you tell them good news, your friend, and see how their reactions are? Yeah.
You know what fucking hurts? When you look around and realize people you thought were your friends aren't your fucking friends. So let me tell you about my moment. So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. The last 4 months, I've been horribly fucking depressed. Like, the most depressed I've been in years. I didn't leave the house. I packed on a shitload of weight. I moved about 15 minutes outside of, like, the heart of Denver. And I didn't realize, like, just that little 15-minute drive would isolate me so fucking much. Like, it is what it is, Well, I reached out to my friend group. And, I see on their Instagram all the time, like, they're doing things without me. I'm never getting invited. And in my head, I'm like, fuck me, like, 15 minutes isn't that far. Like, maybe they just, like, don't like me anymore. And so I, like, asked them, I was like, hey, like, I'm really not doing okay. Can you guys, like, bring me in more? Like, I don't live that far. Like, I can catch an Uber. Like, please? And then I'm sitting there in my head, like, why am I begging people to hang out with me? Like, Morgan, what the fuck? But, like, I was in such a bad spot that it was just, like, it was better than being alone. So then they're like, yeah, girly girl, no problem, girly pop, let me girl. Well, I had to initiate. I invited one of my, like, girlfriends in that group to, like, meet me out for drinks. And it was, like, the first time I had been out and seen people in, like, a month and a half. And so I'm talking to her and I was like, hey, listen, like, I'm, like, really not doing okay. Here's what's going on. And, like, I just needed to talk. And she's like, And I was like, yeah, so if you guys could, like, bring me in more, like, I'd really like that. Like, you guys are my friends. She's like, yeah, no problem. And then, like, right after she says that, she starts telling me about how they all booked a trip together. And she's telling me about, like, the intricacies of this trip and all these things they're going to do as I'm actively not invited. And I'm just sitting there, like, clenching my drink, like, this is so fucking hard to hear right now. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Like, I've asked you guys numerous times to, like, bring me in more. And you're sitting here after I just poured my heart out to you. And you're telling me about a trip you guys are all going on. And how, like, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. And so I just was like, I close out. I go home. Sob the entire way home. I'm so fucking sad. And so then I reach out to her. And I was like, hey, I'm going to be so honest with you. Like, that really hurt my feelings. Like, I actively told you, like, how alone I feel. And how I would pray you guys would, like, bring me in. And you just sat there and, like, just talked about how I'm actively not invited to another thing. She's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel like that. Well, fast forward 6 weeks. I get a text from her. Haven't heard from anyone. Absolute fucking crickets. I get a text from her and she's like, sorry, I've just been struggling with, like, seasonal depression. And I just need to, like, I had to focus on myself. And, like, talking to you gave me a lot of anxiety. But if you want to meet up and chat, we can do that now. And I'm like, you didn't give a fuck about my depression, how bad I was doing. You let me go 6 weeks without hearing from you, and now you just want to pop back up? You're not my friends.
If your friend does any of these things, you should stop being friends with them. Number 1, if they're constantly trying to one-up you, especially in, like, a conversation setting. You're talking to someone else, you're telling them about your life, about your accomplishments, and they jump in and try to be like, yeah, I did that too, like, blah, blah, blah. That kind of goes along with friends that try to make you look bad in front of boys. Any good friend is going to let you have your moment and kind of let you shine on your own. Number 2, if they make you feel like you have to hang out with them every single weekend, every single free day. I feel like everyone kind of has that best friend. You know they're always going to be there for you. You know they're always going to hang out with you. But personally, I feel like there needs to be a boundary set where it's like we don't hang out every single weekend. I have other friends. I have other things I have to do. Personally, my favorite friendships are the ones where you can go months without seeing them and everything will still be the same. Obviously, you still want to, like, make an effort to see them, but you know what I mean. Okay, next. If you start feeling like they're using you for your connections or your plans or your friends, you should probably distance yourself from that person. Another tip, you don't have to completely cut off a friend. You can always distance yourself or talk to them. These situations and tips, I feel like, are a little bit less obvious. There's obviously big things you should probably stay away from, but these are just tiny little things that kind of lead to bigger issues, I feel like. Let me know if you want me to make this a series.
3 things I wish I knew in my early 20s. Number 1, cut your friends off if you keep having to remind them of your boundaries. 1 time, cool. 2 and 3 times, you clearly don't respect me. But number 2, sis, they are talking about you to them if they are talking about them to you. I am not the girl to gossip with about your friends. I'm gonna give you the bombastic side eye every time. But number 3, people that never have money are not the problem. It's the ones that fake like they're broke because they know you'll pay for it. Being generous to the wrong people will leave you broke every time.